Hey, I'm Mark DeMontis from AMI Sports Access here in the state-of-the-art master control room at AMI's Toronto headquarters. For the next 20 minutes or so, I'll be walking you through AMI's programming and services. So, let's get started with who we are and what we do. Accessible Media, or AMI, is a not-for-profit multimedia organization that services over 5 million Canadians who are blind, partially sighted, deaf, hard of hearing, mobility, and print restricted. We operate 3 broadcast services, AMI2 and AMI Audio in English, and AMI Tele in French. All you need is a basic digital package to receive all 3 services. Our mission? To make accessible media for all Canadians. Behind me is a wall of TV screens with original programming and syndicated shows that are featured on AMI TV, like Four Senses, Blindsided, AMI This Week, and top-rated dramas including Downton Abbey, House MD, and Murdoch Mysteries. We also have comedies, live described sporting events, and the best show in my humble opinion, Sports Access. AMI TV offers 2 specialized features on all of its programming, closed captioning and described video. So, what is described video? Described video, or DV, is an added narrative track that explains visual elements of a program for people who are blind and partially sighted. AMI TV is the only channel to air 100% of its programming in an open described format, which means it's always on. You can't turn the description off, and you never have to fiddle with the remote to activate it. Now, let's take a look at the lineup of inspiring and engaging original programs produced by AMI. Canada in Perspective, hosted by Anna-Karina Tabunar, is a weekly news magazine series that takes a look at mainstream Canadian issues and their impact on people of all abilities.
Remember the simple pleasure of getting a letter in the mail?
This is a farce, as far as I'm concerned, because it doesn't take into consideration people with even slight disabilities.
I'm Anna-Karina Tabunar. As a journalist, I've covered issues important to Canadians, from Vancouver's busy streets to Halifax's harbour. Then my vision began to change. Ever since, I've started to look at our country, our people, and how we live together through a new lens. That is what this show is all about, putting Canada in perspective.
Four Senses is hosted by 2 talented celebrity chefs, Christine Haw and Carl Heinrich. Each episode features cooking segments with special guests, discussions related to eye disease, and accessibility tips and tools for independence in the kitchen.
Hey, Christine.
Hey, Carl.
I've got a bare naked lady over here.
A bare naked lady.
Hello, Christine.
Doesn't sound like a lady.
Hi, Ed Robertson.
Hi,
I play
Ed.
in the band Bare Naked Ladies.
The band Bare Naked Ladies.
Just for the last 26 years.
Wow, a veteran.
Yes, a veteran of the rock and roll wars.
Your banana cake actually is pretty legendary here.
It is among friends and family, yeah.
AMI This Week is a magazine show with a distinct community focus. Hosted by seasoned AMI presenters, AMI This Week visits the places and events that help Canadians feel more connected to their community.
We're at the 39th annual Grassroots Competition Powwow, held just outside the city of Ottawa. It's a beautiful spring day, people are brought together in gathering, and one of the driving forces is the rhythm you hear in the background, and that's the music that brings this powwow to life.
Hi, my name is Shadi Hafez, and I'm a member of the Odawa Power Committee. So a lot of the songs are songs that have been passed down from generation to generation to generation. So I mean, we're an oral people. We come from an oral culture. So a lot of the songs sometimes tell stories of certain things from our historical periods, and we have things like flag songs to honor the flags and the eagle staffs that are brought in. We have veteran songs. We have specific songs for specific categories.
Always insightful, Blindsided is a weekly show with an informative and captivating mix of Kelly McDonald's experiences and interviews that are inspiring and entertaining for everyone.
There's a guy on my street, always asking for change. Always likes to laugh, cheery, helpful. He actually helped me cross the street just by shouting out, "Hey, go!" The thing about him is he would never ask me for money. What's wrong with me? I guess he looked at me, oh, I could ask a blind guy to give me some change. Why not? It took at least 50 encounters with me before he did. I dug in my pocket, gave him what spare change I had, and walked away. I walked away from him feeling so good. Not because I helped him. No. But because he didn't hold back. He asked me, can you help me out? He didn't stop to think, well, as a blind guy, I can't be asking him for money. What he did is made me feel like a person who could help him out. Thanks, bro.
And my show, Sports Access, a weekly program that focuses on accessible sports and recreational activities. I go across the country and sit down with inspiring athletes with disabilities and share their stories. Now, when you think of speed skating, you don't often think about someone who's deaf and blind?
Yes, actually.
How often do you get people saying, are you serious?
Yeah, actually it's really a great question, because when I bring my guide dog into the oval, people kind of turn their head twice. So yes, being legally blind and deaf, having 3% vision, 10% hearing, it opens a few eyes for sure.
Perfect.
So
okay, so I got my left foot on the board. I'm gonna push. I'm pushing right now.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm moving my right foot while
Boom.
I push, and now I got 2 feet on, and I'm cruising. Okay.
Boom.
There you go. I'm cruising with 2 feet on right now. Thanks for the hand clapping. Appreciate it.
That's amazing. Careful, there's a rail up there.
Hey, I'm gonna grind this rail out, actually, dude. And that's not all. For information on even more AMI original programming, including Access Unlimited and AMI Inside, visit our website at ami.ca. To find AMI TV and AMI audio in your area, pick up a brochure at the CNIB or visit ami.ca. If your cable provider is Bell, you can find AMI TV on channel 48 and AMI audio on channel 49. And if Rogers is your cable provider, you can find AMI TV on channel 888 and AMI audio on channel 196. If your cable provider is Cogeco, you can find AMI TV on channel 555 and AMI audio on channel 596. AMI TV also broadcasts programs from conventional and specialty TV services in an open described closed caption format. Dramas like Downton Abbey, Coronation Street, House MD, and Saving Hope. We've got something for everyone. We also broadcast live events like the APTN's Aboriginal Day, the Canadian Screen Awards, and live sporting events like Toronto Blue Jays games, and highlights from the 2015 Para-Pan Am Games. AMI Audio is an accessible television channel and online service offering a variety of compelling stories and original content for Canadians who are blind, partially sighted, or otherwise print restricted. Daily, a team of professional narrators present feature articles from top Canadian and international magazines and hourly information updates. AMI Audio also produces a wide variety of original programs covering historical and current events, technology, and entertainment. Here's a preview of AMI Audio's programming lineup. Contact is an award-winning weekly program covering social issues with a focus on accessibility, disability, and equality.
You have his brain. We just want to talk to somebody about Spock's brain, that's all.
Brain and brain, what is brain?
Indeed, what is brain? I'm Anastasia McLean. In this edition of Contact, we examine the inner workings of the human brain.
Informative, insightful, thought-provoking. Don't miss AMI's award-winning interview program, Contact, only on AMI Audio.
Insight is a current affairs program covering science, health, and social issues with a focus on accessibility and disability.
A Manitoba judge is calling for a more secure unit at care homes in the province for those with Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. This comes after the 2011 death of an 87-year-old man at a Winnipeg nursing home who was attacked by another resident who had Alzheimer's. Insights, the daily current affairs program focusing on disability and social justice, at home and abroad. A timely, topical, and enlightened half hour with interviews and feature documentaries that examine the ideas and issues that shape our modern world. Insights, weekdays at 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m.
Mosaic City is a bi-weekly program reflecting the people, places, and events that shape Canada's urban centres.
This week on Mosaic City, we visit the Museum of Anthropology in Vancouver for a new exhibit that looks at one of the largest ancient Musqueam villages and burial sites in which the modern city was built upon. Discover Canada's vibrant cities from a whole new perspective. Tune your ears to the unique fusion of attitudes, topics, genres, and cultures coming from across the country. Meet the people, visit the attractions, and attend the events that define Canada's diverse urban centres. Let sound be your guide. Mosaic City, Sundays at 8 a.m.
The Guardian this week is a compilation of exceptional stories ranging from lighthearted to serious investigative pieces from around the globe.
Leading off The Guardian this week, a British archaeology team has uncovered stunning Roman artifacts. Louise Schofield, a former British museum curator, headed up a major 6-week excavation in the ancient city of Axum that found 11 uncovered graves with extraordinary artifacts, dating from the 1st and 2nd centuries.
To find AMI TV and AMI Audio in your area, pick up a brochure at the CNIB or visit ami.ca. If your cable provider is Bell, you can find AMI TV on channel 48 and AMI Audio on channel 49. And if Rogers is your cable provider, you can find AMI TV on channel 888 and AMI Audio on channel 196. If your cable provider is Cogeco, you can find AMI TV on channel 555 and AMI Audio on channel 596. In December 2014, AMI launched a third broadcast service, AMI Tele, to serve Francophone Canadians who are blind, partially sighted, deaf, or hard of hearing. AMI Tele is the first French-language television station to broadcast all content with open describe video and closed captioning, and is available in your basic digital package. Visit amitele.ca to access the French program schedule and to watch AMI Tele original programs on demand. I'm joined by AMI Toronto presenter and the host of AMI's own Blindsided, Kelly McDonald. Kelly, you've been here for almost 15 years. You've seen AMI become the network it is today. What's the experience been like?
Mark, lots of great, exciting things, lots of cool experiences. And when I started out, I was in production, moved into a coordinator position, so I've had that chance to grow as an employee, and now doing presenting work, hosting on television.
I mean, you've had some pretty cool experiences, Kelly. Let's face it, you've traveled all across this country, you've had south. What stands out to you in terms of some of the memorable moments that you've covered here?
Presenting for the CRTC, for one, helping us get the license for AMI TV. Interviewing great people who have lots of cool stuff to share, such as mayoral candidates, some celebrities, but you know what? Mostly the average person out there who is doing something that the rest of us will find interesting. So a lot of that kind of stuff and growing as a person.
As you know, for many persons with disabilities in our country, in particular the blind community, the unemployment rate is a tough one. And for yourself and myself, we've had this privilege to work at this network and provide us with a life. What has it meant to you being able to be an employee here at AMI?
Well, Mark, I mean, this is an opportunity to grow, to say, hey, we can do this. This company demonstrates that by having on-air talent and people behind the scenes with vision difficulties, bringing programs to the air. And when they strike out to go elsewhere, whether it's some of the big broadcasters or the smallest station, they've got something to bring to the table and credentials along with that. You and I know, growing up wanting to do broadcasting in some form or other, how important that is, that people believe in you instead of deferring to somebody they might have heard of working somewhere else and not giving anyone a chance at their own broadcast.
Let's talk about giving someone a chance. AMI has done that. For myself, they've done that with Sports Access. For yourself with Blindsided. It's an entertaining TV show. Tell us folks all about it.
The show is a variety of things, Mark, from rants to great interviews where we get to ask people some cool questions, talking about a subject that interests me, makes me curious to share with my viewers. Mark, you and I have been through a lot of different things, tried different things out, but we don't profess to be the first person who's ever done them, right? All right, not everything, but anyway, some things. So it's a chance to share that experience through our eyes with others out there watching and listening in. Also, I've interviewed some great people on the show who have some cool things to share with us, and once again, that's always fun. It's great to interact with people. I think one of my favorite things is when people stop me on the street and want to talk about stuff that we've shot, stuff that they've seen on our channel and really love and how important the channel is, even to them, as sighted people, let alone the low vision and blind community.
Well, I love the piece you did with Commander Chris Hatfield. Kelly, I followed the show. Congratulations. Kelly McDonald, the host of AMI's original program, Blindsided, and you can watch that on AMI TV, but you could also watch that on AMI.ca alongside an accessible media player. I had a chance to sit down with the Director of Digital Strategy, Virginia Valletta, to learn more about it. So tell me about some of the features on AMI.ca.
The AMI website is developed with accessibility and assistive technologies in mind. So for example, when a user goes to our website, you'll see at the top of the screen here, skip to content, which means a user using a screen reader can go directly to the content here. And you'll notice that we feature AMI Audio and AMI TV, our English language television channel. So the full roster of AMI programming is available on the website. Visitors are able to play it and also to reach out to us and exchange ideas with us via the website and social media. They can also change the size of the text here. You'll see the text in 3 different sizes at the top of the page. So someone with a visual impairment who may not be able to see the text clearly in a small size can change it to a larger size. You are able to access a large repository of information around accessibility in general. So broadcast accessibility, a lot of information about described video best practices. We actually find that a lot of our visitors are very, very interested in this area of the website. Mobile accessibility, discussion about web accessibility, and information about the AMI player. What the player is, the history of the player.
Virginia, how does the accessible media player work?
It's called the AMI player. It's a player we developed in 2014, and it was the first North American media player for broadcast that is fully accessible. And what that means is the content is video described and features closed captioning, and transcripts are available as well.
The next level in accessibility is here. Introducing the AMI Player, North America's first accessible online media player. It works with a variety of assistive technologies to deliver a unique user experience that works for all abilities. Catch up on your favorite AMI TV original shows, complete with open description and closed captioning. Pause, fast forward, and rewind with our easy-to-use interface. Try the AMI Player today. Visit AMI.ca.
Everyone knows to have a great team, you need to have a great captain. AMI's president, David Arrington, is just that. I had a chance to sit down with him in his office to chat about his vision for the future of AMI. Being a president, being a CEO, there's obviously a lot of people that point to the person always at the top and saying, you're the person in charge of this journey for this groundbreaking network. Is that added pressure?
I don't know if it's pressure. I think that a good CEO sets out a good vision and a good strategy, and they hire really smart people to help execute that strategy. So I've been very lucky that we have a vision, we have a strategy, we know where we're heading, and that's my role to do that. And then I hire really smart people to execute that, and that makes the difference. Is the people that you hire make you look good, and I'm lucky to have a good team here and a great staff at AMI.
We make accessible media for all Canadians.
Right.
It's a big statement.
That's the mission statement, and that's the goal. And everything we do, from producing content on a daily basis to hiring people here who work at AMI, all goes back to that mission statement. All is measured back to that mission statement. So every employee here at AMI knows that that is the mission statement and knows how their job on a daily basis affects the outcome of that mission statement. And that's how we measure ourselves, and that's a critical component of what we do.
How important is corporate partners and community involvement?
It's critically important because we target the blind and partially sighted community, and we find the best way to reach that audience is in partnership with like-minded organizations such as the CNIB. So we have partnerships with corporate partners like CNIB or Foundation for Fighting Blindness, or Courage Canada is another organization. And what that allows us to do is that gives us a direct link to our audience, our target audience. So we will sponsor events that they have, we'll have our booths set up at events that they have, and we're getting direct contact with the audience that we're trying to make aware of the services that we offer.
How much is this about making media accessible versus making life accessible for persons living with blindness or visual impairment?
So we're trying to get a great exposure of persons with disabilities or persons from the blind and partially sighted community to get involved in media, to be on camera, to be behind the camera, to be part of our production team here, to be part of our organization. So it's more about making media accessible to all Canadians is the main mission statement of the network, but it's also evolved to including, getting people participating in broadcasting, from persons with disabilities in broadcasting.
I ran into a young girl on Vancouver Island, and she had come up to me, and obviously she watches Sports Access, a huge fan, and
we're all fans of Sports Access.
What she was saying to me, she was saying that this network AMI has changed her life. It's provided her with the opportunity to engage in television, something that all of her classmates and all of her sighted peers get the chance to do daily. I mean, how does that make you feel knowing that this is touching the lives of young people in this country and giving them a chance, and an equal chance, to be a television viewer just like everyone else?
It's incredibly fulfilling, and I'm proud of what we as an organization have done. All the employees, all the staff, all the on-air people, our partners. We've come a long way, and hearing stories like that makes you feel like you're doing the right thing. I had another story of one of our board members who's from the community called me and thanked me because he watched the Blue Jay game with 5 of his buddies. He said it was so great just to sit back on a Sunday afternoon and watch the ball game with open live description with my friends. I felt like I was part of it, and that's what we aim to do, and I think that's very touching to hear.
I hope you enjoyed this quick look at some of the programming and accessibility features offered here at AMI. If you have any questions or story ideas, give us a call at 1-800-567-6755 or visit us online anytime at AMI.ca. Help us spread the word, telling everyone that AMI makes accessible media for all Canadians.
If you're blind or partially sighted, what can you watch on TV? And where do you go for information? Thankfully, there's AMI, a company that provides media services to Canadians with vision loss. AMI is creating a research panel, so if you're blind or partially sighted, we need your help to improve our services. Call today and help shape the future of accessible media. 1-855-839-4772 or visit ami.ca/research panel and register today.
To find AMI TV and AMI audio in your area, pick up a brochure at the CNIB or visit ami.ca. If your cable provider is Bell, you can find AMI TV on channel 48 and AMI audio on channel 49. And if Rogers is your cable provider, you can find AMI TV on channel 888 and AMI audio on channel 196. If your cable provider is Cogeco, you can find AMI TV on channel 555 and AMI audio on channel 596.